All right, so welcome everybody. This is our first Tuesday, 2-cent Tuesdays, I should say. And I'm happy to have Jordy Wilson from San Vito Coffee House with us, as well as sponsoring with us is Julie Rempel and Darren Shan. Oh, Shan or Sean, I'll get the name.
Yeah, Sean, that's fine.
Sean, with us from Vexxit. So we're going to hear from them in a little bit. I just want to go over a couple of things before we get started. So I'm going to share my screen because I want to try to get some things all set up.
Here.
All right.
Yeah,
can you guys see my screen that says introduce yourself?
Yep.
Yep.
I can see it.
Perfect. That's the screen I wanted. So my name is Christy Meek, and I'm the Executive Director and President for the Assiniboia Chamber of Commerce. I'd like to welcome you to our first 2-cent Tuesday. You can catch us every second Tuesday at noon. We are planning to continue this event moving forward. If everyone can just mute their mics right now, if you hover over your right hand or your picture or image and just click mute, that would be great. Every Tuesday we plan to do these moving forward way into the future. With this pandemic or prior to, we were actually talking about how to move our chamber a little more into the future and engaging our members in different ways. And, doing online sessions was one of the ways. With the pandemic, we all had to throw on some life jackets or be real good swimmers because we actually dove into, what we're doing, just like every other business around. And we're going to hear from Jordy in a little bit about how, he kind of dove into something as well that's turned out successful. So I want to thank you all for participating today. I'm actually coming to you from my living room. And I see everyone else is kind of working from home or the makeshift offices or the office as well. For lunch today, we are encouraging you for these events to eat lunch. Don't feel bad. If you want to shut off your video, go ahead. I actually have Burke's Big Comfort BLT with cheese and a tropical smoothie from San Vito today. I got it with their, am I still cutting in and out?
Yes, you are.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you are cutting in and out.
Okay, we'll try the best. I have the Burke's Big Comfort BLT with cheese and a tropical smoothie from San Vito. I just want to go around everyone on the call. I'll introduce your name. Just come off mute, state your name and company and what you are eating for lunch today. Jordy, why don't we start with you?
My name is Jordy Wilson. I'm from San Vito Coffee House. As of right now, I'm eating right now.
Okay, we might have a little bit of difficulties with connection. It tends to happen, but we'll do our best. George Stesiak?
Yes, hi, Christy, thanks. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good, because I'm really not set up that well. I'll have to get a new laptop to make it work more properly. But in any case, I'm George Stasiak with G&G Nutritionals. And so what did I have for lunch? Well, a nutritional shake with lots of strawberries, blueberries, grapes, and banana, and lots of other good things in it. Some nutrition stuff. And now I'm having an apple. I'm glad that you can't see. That's my dessert. And I had my wife Gertrude's homemade muffin. So that's kind of a nice round meal for today.
Nice. Thank you for joining us. Megan?
Hi, I'm Megan Wolford. I'm the Executive Director of the St. James Assiniboia 55 Plus Center. And for lunch today, I had pancakes and bacon.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good.
Thank you. Julie?
Hi, everyone. I am with Vexxit, and unfortunately, I have not had lunch yet, but I plan on eating probably Triscuits and New Bothwell cheese squeakers. So I went to New Bothwell Cheese Factory over the weekend because I needed to get out of the house and go for a drive, and that's where I landed up. And I had this huge bag of squeakers, so that's what it's going to be for me all week.
No one complains about New Bothwell. It's all good. Darren?
Yes, good afternoon. I'm Darren Sean. I'm also from Vexxit. And similar to Julie, I haven't had my lunch yet. Had a little bit of a mid-morning snack from fruit, but I've got a nice bowl of pasta with some homemade pasta sauce, I think, which is just calling my name when we're done here today for my lunch.
Sounds good. Kaiser, is that how you pronounce your name?
So I'm just a graduate student of University of Manitoba. I was just hovering over the site. I am not a member of the chamber yet. And, I thought that this would be a wonderful opportunity to join you guys and try to understand what you guys do. And, in this situation, I guess it's always a good idea to make new friends and, interact with people.
Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us. What did you have for lunch today?
Guys do business and how you are coping up with this challenge.
Good, thank you. Mark?
So sorry. I guess I was on mute. So my name is Kaiser Nahian. I am a graduate student at UFM. I do have a business degree from back home. And I was just, visiting the website, and I just saw this meeting that you guys are going to have. So I thought it was a good idea to, join you guys and understand, how you guys are doing this business, especially in this difficult condition. So I guess it's okay that I'm joining you guys and, joining this meeting.
Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Mark? I can unmute you.
Here we go.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Sorry I'm late. I was just stuck on a call. My name is Mark. I'm the founder of RevGenApps.com, and I've been working with Christy on some new things that might be coming in the near future, so I don't want to spoil any news if it's still top secret. I heard people say about lunches. I haven't even thought about my lunch yet, so it'll be whatever is available when I come out. So I'm based out of Ile-des-Chênes, Manitoba, but I've been heavily involved in the chamber world. And on Thursday morning this week, I'm doing a webinar with the World Trade Center in Winnipeg on how to prepare your business for growth post-COVID-19 when things get lifted. So I would invite you to attend that, and there's going to be a lot of really good information on that webinar.
Mark, thank you for joining us. And second, if you wanted to post the link inside the chat, please do so, okay? Thank you.
Sounds good.
Ellis, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Alice. I work for Manitoba Aerospace. Hi, Jody. And I'm the marketing and social media manager. And I was just talking to Christy earlier because I'm very early logged into the Zoom. And I've been enjoying Jody's performance on the Trader. Thank you, Jody. And I love your food. We always order, not always, but most of the time we order from them for our lunch meeting. I like the dolly chicken a lot. So my lunch, I haven't taken my lunch yet, but I have pizza and coffee. I think I was thinking of pizza and coffee for my lunch later. That's it.
Nice, thank you. Elizabeth?
Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, don't mind me. It's my webcam isn't working today, so you just get to hear my voice. But I'm the business development coordinator at FBC, so the tax specialist. And for lunch, I had a smoothie and some leftover hamburger helper.
Love it. And Tony, do you want to come off mute and introduce yourself? Oh, he may be busy. Am I back? Okay. We'll get Tony Sawicki is from Silver Heights Restaurant, and he is also the oh, there he is.
I'm here. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Tony Sawicki. I own Silver Heights Restaurant and Lounge in St. James here. Also the interim board of the director or chairman of the board for the Manitoba Restaurants and Foods Association. And for lunch, not sure what I'm having yet. That'll plan up. I usually eat my lunch after 1 o'clock when everybody else eats their lunch.
I understand. Thank you for joining us today too.
I just want to say hi to Tony. Tony, we rented your cottage years ago
Yeah, Mark.
at White Lake.
I saw that. I was going to say hi, Mark. Yeah, how are you?
Nice to see you again.
You too.
I love connections. It's awesome. Okay, let's get started. I am going to just put this up again, share the screen. During this time, if you do have a question, we'll just ask to unmute and ask it when there is a pause in the presentation. Or if you'd like, type your question into the chat and we will ask it for you. If this is your first time on Zoom, you can scroll your mouse to the bottom of the screen and there will be a black toolbar that will appear, and on there says chat, which will pop up a separate window. You could chat to somebody privately and individually, or you could chat to everyone in the group, however you choose. If you are sending a private chat, for a question you don't want to make, showing that you're the one asking for it, please private message either myself, Christy Meek, or our Chamber Cube coordinator, Arlene Opala. So I'd like to kick off this meeting before we get to our guest host is allowing Julie Rempel and Darren Sean from Vexxit to introduce themselves. They are sponsoring today's event, and they are one of our new partners that we are working with. I sent an email announcement to our members yesterday, and there is more to come, but I am going to pass over the mic to Darren and Julie, and we'll hear from them for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll hear from Jordy. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much, Christy, for giving me an opportunity and ourselves to Assiniboia Chamber of Commerce. Just want to briefly mention before I pass it to Darren that in partnership with Assiniboia Chamber of Commerce, it has been a real honor and pleasure to work with Christy and getting to know some of the growth and the opportunities that exist inside this chamber, but at the same time also hear about some of the challenges. And that's why we think that potentially this partnership will be of benefit to some of your professional community as well as to the small businesses and the businesses that make up the chamber. So would love to introduce you to Darren, just to have you see a little bit more and get to know a little bit more about Vexxit. We are a new startup company in Winnipeg, from Winnipeg, and we think we can be of service and help and allow you to get to know us too, as much as we want to get to know you guys. Darren?
Very good, thank you. So I'm going to share my screen here. Very good. Just as Julie said, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here with you folks. Just before I begin, I want to let you know I am born and raised a St. James boy. Went to Linwood Elementary, St. James Collegiate for junior high, senior high. Still have lots of family that live throughout the St. James area. I think most of my summers as a kid was spent rambling around the neighborhood and through Assiniboine Park. So it's I think it's really cool that I have an opportunity to sit here and speak to some of the small business owners and participants in the chamber for St. James Assiniboia. It's kind of a neat experience for me. So thank you for having us. I'm really happy to be here. I want to introduce you to a couple of people that are going to tell you a little bit about the story of Vexxit and who we are. So this is Olivia. Now, Olivia may look like somebody you know. She's probably a lot like people you know in your community, in the chamber here. Olivia has spent her time and energy and her motion in building up a business in the St. James area. She's very proud of her business. She's very proud of the fact that she has two full-time employees, 6 part-time employees. She is able to hire casual staff to help her with her functions. She's put blood, sweat, and tears into building her business. She's happy to serve her customers and to serve the community. So, like a lot of people in our communities, all of a sudden a pandemic comes upon us, and decisions are made and implemented that has a significant impact on our businesses and us as individuals. So Olivia has to shut her business down temporarily. No one's hiring catering companies right now. So what does she do? She has a lot of questions. What's going to happen to her employees? Does she have to lay them off? Will she be able to get them back again? What about her customers? How is she going to help serve customers when things get back to normal? There's government assistance available. What does she qualify for? How does she go about getting it? What's involved in getting it? How does this impact the rest of her financial plan? Taxes that she has to pay? Does she pay taxes now? Are they deferred till when? She has a number of questions about this. But most importantly, all these questions boil down into an important single question: is her business going to survive? Can she get through this? What kind of help can she get? So she needs help. She's looking for assistance. She's looking for someone who has the skills and the knowledge and the abilities to answer these questions and help guide her through the next weeks and months so that she can save her business and she'd be in a position to start again and continue to grow when things get better. I'd like to introduce you to a second person. This is Oliver. So similar to Olivia, Oliver has a business in the St. James Assiniboia area. He's in Westwood. He too has spent his time and energy, blood, sweat, and tears in building up this business. He's an accountant. He has 7 accountants and 4 support staff working in his firm. So he's built up a very nice business. His business supports a number of people in the community. He works with business owners, helps them through some of the challenges they have in their business. But this is a unique challenge. This is not something that the average business or the average person certainly expected or prepared for. So what can Oliver do? He, by means of his training and his knowledge and experience, he has information to share and to help with customers and with businesses in his area. He can help guide them and answer a lot of those questions that Olivia was asking about the financial situation, about government programs, how to apply for them, what those subsidies are, and he can guide them through the impact it will have on their business. He also needs to build his business. He recognizes that his business comes from small businesses. They're going to be suffering. He recognizes he needs to grow his business, but that's never been his strength. He's an accountant. His skills and his strengths are being an accountant. So business development, growing. Yes.
I'm just going to say, if you can mouse over down to the bottom right and click on the icon that looks like a pop-up screen right beside that'll increase. That'll show us the full screen that you're on.
It's not showing a full screen, is it?
No. So in the bottom right-hand corner, right by the scrolling bar, there's one with a square. Click on that one. Nope. To the left. By the minus sign. Yeah, that one.
Oh, there we go. That's better?
It hasn't connected to us yet.
It's showing a full screen here.
Okay, well, continue and I'll see if I can fix something at my end.
Sure. So we have these 2 people, Olivia, who is a small business owner. She's looking for professional help. We have Oliver, who's a small business owner. He has the ability to provide professional help. He's looking for people like Olivia. The question becomes, how does he find Olivia? How do these 2 parties come together? And this is where Vexxit comes in. So Vexxit is a platform that we bring together people who are looking for help with professional help, people who have the ability to provide that help. Just double checking, what screen are you seeing right now?
How it works.
Okay, very good. So how does it work? Well, we gather data points from consumers. They come to us and they identify who they are and what they're looking for. We ask them some basic questions about what their need is. What are they looking for? Who do they need? What is their specific need? What time frame are they dealing with? Then we ask them some information about themselves, some demographic and personal interest questions, so that we get a better idea of who they are, what's important to them. Then we match that data with similar questions we ask from a professional. We ask a professional about who they are, what skills they have, what their experience are, what certifications they have. We take a number of points of data and then we match the two together and we bring together the consumer, in this case, a small business, or it could be an individual, with the professional. So we bring together the Olivias of our community with the Olivers of our community and allow them to talk to each other and allow Olivia to determine if she wants to work with Oliver, if he does have the skills and experience that she's looking for. It's very simple for a person to get matched with a vetted professional. It's a very quick process to register, to fill out your profile, tell us who you are, what you need. We search our network of professionals, and then we bring the two together and allow them to communicate together. I'll ask Julie to talk a little bit more about who we are, where we came from, and what we're made of.
Thanks, Darren. So yeah, Vexxit was founded by a group of very entrepreneurial Manitobans, one of whom also founded Exchange Income Corporation, Duncan Justman, who you may be familiar with. So this incredible established Vexxit actually teamed up with world-renowned tech developers who also happen to call Winnipeg home. And we, between consumers, small business owners, medium-sized business owners, to lawyers, accountants, financial advisors, and consultants of a variety of different spectrums. So we use, and this technology is based on machine learned algorithms, plus that human connection as well. And we match you with the most appropriate person that is specialized to meet your needs as a small business owner, and vice versa. So we have been operational for the last 3 months. And with that, we have enjoyed a steep curve of success because essentially, especially now, when traditional ways of meeting people at events or in person are not necessarily possible, this digital way to connect with professionals and find the help that you need has become a real tool for both professionals and consumers alike. So we're really looking forward to what the next little while holds for Vexxit, but we're especially celebrating today our partnership with the Assiniboia to make sure that we make these connections between businesses as well as professionals. So if you guys ever want to reach out to us, we would love to help and walk you through it and give you some more information about Vexxit and how it is that we can help you out and to meet some of your needs. But thank you so much, Christy, for allowing us to be a part of today, and we look forward to the rest of this webinar.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Darren and Julie. I'm now gonna just switch our screens here. And I want to introduce Jordy from Vito Coffee House. I'm treating this as our guest host for these type of events. So he's gonna basically share the story, and what the purpose of our Tuesday Tuesdays is to just hear from fellow chamber members their good, bad, ugly stories, what their successes are, what their challenges are. Is to spearhead conversation, and following the conversation, you know, it may do with something that one of our chamber members has mentioned, or the topic may just take a mind of its own, and that's all okay. What we want to do with these presentations is kind of, well, network and engage with our members, but as well, they may create different things that our chamber can advocate on behalf of. I gave an example to Ellis, who was on the call earlier, and saying that, you know, last year we had a member contact us regarding sign permits within the city of Winnipeg, and that they were having some issues. It would have been nice to jump on a Zoom call, you know, with everyone just to see how that, you know, came about and what, you know, proactive steps the chamber could do to help them resolve the issue. So this is how one of the platforms that we plan to take forward. So I'm going to now stop sharing this screen so that everyone can see Jordy. And Jordy, take it away. Share your story. Oh, I'll unmute you.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Unmute?
Yep.
All right. We're good to go? Oh. Hello. Can everybody hear me? We can hear? Okay. So anyways, my name is Jordy from San Vito Coffee House. First of all, how's everyone's hair doing? Like I tell you, I need a bad haircut, something fierce. I don't know. By the end of this nightmare, it could be, I don't know what I'm going to look like Captain Caveman, perhaps.
I've noticed a few gray.
I guess just give you a little background on us. We've been, what's that? Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go
I
ahead.
said I've noticed a couple of gray hairs coming in, and I'm not one to always color my hair, but it's funny. I know how old I am, but it's just funny. And my hair is really long.
When you say that, my wife's starting to look like a skunk right now. She's getting a stripe up top here. So, and she won't go to see her hairdresser. Like she goes, I go, because it's funny because she comes in here, our hairdresser, but her hairdresser is really paranoid about everything, but she's isolated herself quite well. But she said, Jill, you can come over and get your hair done. And my wife won't do it because she's all paranoid with the whole thing. So whatever, we'll make do as we go along here. Everybody's going to look really attractive in another month. From the perspective of our store, we've been in business now for 10 years, essentially. And we're at Portage Mountain Royal, for those of you that aren't aware, right beside Munther Zeed and the food fair. So he's our landlord. And when we've, like pre-COVID, what we're doing here, we could seat about 35 people that would come in. And predominantly, I mean, St. James is full of a lot of seniors. So this became a big hangout for a lot of senior citizens. They all came in, and it was a great meeting place for them to be social and all that kind of stuff. We had a lot of regular customers that would come in, and obviously had our morning trade of people come in, etc. Plus, we've obviously done quite a bit of catering over the years for everything from, you know, it could be educational institutions to businesses, etc. And then we also work with Fast Air and with the Northwest Company over here on Star Boulevard, where all the private jets fly out of. So we provide them with lunches for the private jets and for the Northwest Company when they're flying their employees up. So, you know, we had again, like everything, it's a restaurant, and it's, you know, you're fighting, as Tony, I mean, he's been in business a long time, but he can attest to, it's a fist fight every day to keep it rolling. So, you know, we're grinding along. And then, of course, this happened. And of course, now I can remember, I think it was, I believe, actually, I was just looking back at the date. I think it was Friday, March 17th. And everything is starting to grind. Like you could see, like, you know, all the closures and the rules and the regulations were coming. And we started getting pretty scared. And so on that Monday, the following Monday, I started delivering flyers with our menu on it and promoting the fact that we have free delivery service. And I started out by the Dairy Queen on Portage Avenue at Woodhaven there, and I kind of worked my way back down the stretch by the river, and then I went from Moray all the way past Deer Lodge. So I walked over 100 kilometers delivering flyers over about 4 or 5 days, trying to get them out there. People would have to many deliveries. So if you use Skip the Dishes and DoorDash and all those guys, I mean, they take about 30 points. That's off the top. So, I mean, if you're looking at, if a bill is $80.23 taxes in, they take 30% of including the tax piece of it. So it's pretty expensive. So there's not a lot of margin in it left for the stores. So, I mean, people have kind of used it as a marketing ploy more than anything else. But we knew in order to survive, we couldn't do this. We have to survive ourselves. So obviously we implemented our own driving or delivery service, and quite often this is the face you get to see at the door if you get to deliver, and it's actually kind of snowballed pretty good. So but that was the part of it. But then what happened was you could see that people were getting really, well, you watch what was going on in grocery stores and talking to people, and they were getting very anxious, and people were losing their jobs, and people were making mortgage payments and car payments. The anxiety level, and I mean, know you've seen that probably in your family and in the community, it got ratcheted up pretty quick. And obviously we were feeling anxious like everybody else was, but we said, you know what, let's just go have some fun with this thing, because you know what, and again, maybe this comes from my background of, I've been involved with sports for a long time. Like I played football, I've been coaching football forever. I coach the Winnipeg Rifles now, so I've been kind of in that environment of competition and resiliency forever. So in my mindset, I'm going, well, we're going to find a way to get through this damn thing, and we're just going to be resilient. We're just going to keep putting one foot ahead of the other. We're going to keep hammering away. But while we're going here, let's have some fun with this thing, because people are getting uptight, they're getting upset. Let's see if we can have some fun. So we had to introduce a new matcha latte. We came up with Matcha Man, really inventive. But anyways, we did that, and people went crazy about it. It was kind of funny. And we're on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and all of a sudden people were going nuts about this thing, right? And I thought back, because we've done some previous stuff with using Boomerang, where they would have me eating a sandwich and I'm going like this. So it was, people like stupid stuff, right? Or they like, stuff that's entertaining. So then what we proceeded to do is continue to do songs every couple of days. And I think today we put out, I think this was the 15th song we put out. So, and we've done everything from Neil Diamond to Shania Twain to Guns N' Roses to AC/DC to Toby Keith. I mean, we've covered pretty well every genre of music. And so this week we've got Guns N' Roses we had today. So it was Welcome to San Vito instead of Welcome to the Jungle. And then on Thursday, we're having Tom Jones. Will be My Delilah, but it'll be now My San Vito. And then we have Toby Keith, I Love This Bar, will be now I Love This Store. And of course, what we do is we throw promoting our products and the name of our store. We kind of work it in lineup. And then as I was mentioning earlier, so next week I've been working on Bruno Mars. So I'm trying to get to the, to the young kids here. So I got to work with my dance moves to be ready for a little Bruno Mars next week. So it'll be Uptown Funk You Up, but it'll be related to San Vito. So we've been doing that, and we've been seeing like what's happened is like we've always been fortunate here. Like Scott Gillingham, who's our city councilor, Scott's been a regular customer, lives in the community. He's been really good to us. Adrian Sala, who's now our MLA here, he's a good guy. He's got an office upstairs. Like those guys have been always contacting me if there's things they could do to help and all that kind of stuff. And then what's happened is a lot of the bombers' wives all of a sudden latched onto us, and because we were having fun and they were laughing, and then their husbands. So Adam Big Hill came in here on Saturday, and he's retweeting all our stuff, and it's just kind of snowball. And it's kind of weird because I've become almost like Dancing Gabe in the sense that it's weird. I go to a door and people are like, "Oh my God, it's you!" And these people came in and they said, "Oh, I wanted to see what you look like in person." And someone was driving down the street, they're yelling out the door at me. It's been really weird. So, but it's worked. I mean, for whatever reason. So, I mean, at the start, to give you an idea, when this first started coming down, we were at about probably, we were down 60 to 70% in sales. So it was scary. And you're going like, yeesh, because you start looking, and you're a small business, and you start going without revenue for probably 2 or 3 weeks, you're probably done. So it was kind of terrifying. So now what's happened is we've had to lay staff off. Like we're not open in the evenings anymore. So that we've done. We're open until 6 o'clock. So we've got rid of, I shouldn't say got rid of, we laid off, and then we're going to bring them back when we get going again. But some of the high school kids we have working for us part-time. So we had to shave off. We shaved off about, 35 hours every pay period. So that's helped. And just the fact that our sales are now, we're getting close to where we were pre-COVID. We're not there yet, but we're pretty close now. So it's actually, from a survival perspective, it's been good. But the thing that's really good, that's encouraging about this to me, is when we come out of post-COVID, and let's assume that, Manitoba is doing fairly well. And I'm hopeful that my hope is by July 1, and hopefully it's earlier, but let's say July 1 by Canada Day, we have some kind of a new normal, whatever that might be. It might be the fact that grocery stores are probably going to remain the way they are. They're going to control the number of people in there. Restaurants, maybe you're going to be at a quarter of your capacity. like in store, but I think there'll be some form of new normal. But the good thing is coming out of this is that we've discovered, or we've harvested, mined, whatever term you want to use, a lot of new customers. So what's happened is we think that, and it's been interesting, like on Fridays, the last few weeks, like all the BMO banks around here, I know a couple of people that work at the one out in Unicity, but the other ones, I don't know anybody at those banks. They've been ordering food from us. Other companies that we've never dealt with, they're ordering food for their staff. People are ordering lunches. And the other thing that's been cool is that we went out for a drive, I'm going to say 3 weeks ago, to the Half Moon in out in Lockport, because it's kind of destination, give you something to do, right? And they've kind of rejigged their thing so you can go through a drive-through, so you don't go in, because they just pretty well had to sit down. But I've had people that showed up on the weekend that came from Transcona, from North Kildone, and as a kind of an adventure. I wanted to see this place, and so it's become a bit of a destination piece. So maybe as this, I mean, not all these people are going to stay with us and everything else, but I think what we've done is we've developed some new customers, so that when we come out of this, we'll go back into the airline business too, like with Fast and stuff, because their private jets aren't flying, and they'll go back flying, because those guys that are flying the planes have lots of money. So, I mean, they'll get back in their planes and start flying. And then we'll get back to our regular catering business. We'll get our seniors back in the store, and then we can have this customer growth. So I'm hopeful that, honestly, that maybe what happens, that as bad as this sounds, this might be a good thing for us, what's transpired. I mean, it's not good, but I mean, it might have, because it's forced us to kind of retrofit what we're doing in here. And I think what we will do is we'll keep the delivery piece in, so that way we can continue to grow. So that's kind of, I guess, kind of what we're looking at. And from the perspective, I mean, the things now, I mean, and you guys are all entrepreneurs, so you understand the case here is that you got to be ready for the unexpected, right? And I mean, you can't, I mean, we all think, things are kind of moving along. You're always waiting to make that turn around the corner and something's going to happen, but you got to be ready for it. And I think all we've tried to do in here is to be resilient and to find ways, like when I've talked, I mean, people will always tell you why you can't do something. And when I've talked to, our staff and my wife and different people, and you're like, okay, don't talk to me what we can't do. Talk to me what we can do. How can we make this work? And that's kind of what we've tried to do. And it's, like I say, it's not perfect. And I mean, again, I kind of feel at days like, you're treading water and you got your nose kind of just sticking out of the edge of the water, and you're hoping a wave doesn't come and smash you in the face. But we're going to get through this. And I really believe that. And I think it's, I mean, I feel more optimistic than I ever have in here. And I think over in the long run, this is going to be good for us. And that's probably about it. I don't know what else I can tell you. Is that good?
I think it's excellent. What I hear as you talk is just optimism, and positivity, and, you're allowed to have the disappointment, the frustration, the ebbs and flows of everything that's happening. But it is, I encourage all of the members that I've been speaking to is, once I help them get through kind of their panic and their initial what's going on and how do I apply for these programs or anything else to help, it's time to, look forward, and what are you doing today that can affect your business? And I almost challenge.
I would say too, probably in comparison to Tony, is that, I mean, we're fortunate that we're a small operation. Like, we're not the Keg or Silver Heights, where you've got, I don't know what Tony's staff number is in there, but I mean, he's got a decent sized operation in there. Those are the restaurants that, I mean, those are the ones that I'm concerned with, is the bigger rent payment on those buildings, or the mortgage payments, or however they're paying for them. They're way more than what we're paying, right? So, I mean, we don't have to crack as big an egg as they do. So, I mean, there's still a lot of work ahead. I mean, and Tony could attest. I mean, I'm sure his revenues have probably, plummeted, probably more so than certainly than we have. But it's, again, any help that we can give each other. And I mean, it's been good. Like, we went down, actually Tony's ordered, some of his staff have ordered some of the lattes and stuff. We've been down there, and the burger place down the road we've been to and stuff too. So, again, the whole buy local piece, like, I really hope that all of us, when we come out of this thing, like everybody's talking about it now, but that we stay with that, because the McDonald's of the world and, the big chains, the Kegs and all those ones, those guys are going to be, they're not going. But it's the people, what in fabric in Winnipeg, and if you take all these potholes, if you take all the specialty retail store and restaurant, that's what gives a city character. I mean, the big chains don't give them character. And that's the thing, we got to try to make sure that we maintain them. So it's important that, you know, that we all try to order from all the people and do as best we can. I mean, to try to keep everybody up and running.
I agree.
That's what it is. I have talked long enough, so there you go.
It's all good. Does anyone have any questions or want to contribute their, you know, contributions, you know, to today's conversation?
But if I can, Christy, if I can pop in for 1 second.
Absolutely, George.
In fact, I have to leave a little earlier because I have another commitment. However, I'm listening to this situation every day from different sources. People totally stressed out, worried, transition, jobs lost. The biggest issue of this whole thing is most of the people are under great stress. And for those who are not aware of it, stress does kill. And so it is important to look after your health, first of all, and then get into the other business aspects, get your business alive. Because if you lose your health, your business means absolutely nothing to you. It's down the tube. So the greatest of wealth is your health. And so for those who are on the call right now, the 12 of us, you know, it's highly important to look after your health, first of all. And this is where, if I could put a plug in, this is where I come in. I have people asking me, like, what should I be doing? Well, I keep getting information from different sources. It's two critical things that up your vitamin C level and your vitamin D level to help strengthen your immune system. Those two, amongst a lot of other ones, but those two are basically, you know, key issues. Higher doses of vitamin C. I supplied, which is a poly C, ascorbic, and then the vitamin D. Those two are critical. So that's what I suggest to people. Look after your health, and the rest will hopefully fit in once things start to getting semi-normal. So thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, George. Thank you for joining the call. And it is, I agree. I think mental health plays a big aspect into how everyone is handling, you know, the pandemic right now. And I'm seeing it with, you know, our business members as well, and how they are coping right now. Am I cutting in and out? Nod your heads.
Nope.
Perfect.
You're good.
I'm noticing that, you know, change is inevitable, but it's how you handle it. And right now, everyone is experiencing the same change. It may look a little different because of finances, business, and everything else, but we are all experiencing it together. So there's this type of understanding, and what you learned today, I think, is really going to help, you know, what the future of your business looks like. So that's where I tie back to Jordy, how you're saying it's all positive. And there are some negative things happening, of course, with the businesses and the numbers, but if you actually address them, you know, it's not just putting them under a rug and ignoring them. It's thinking what to do ahead and thinking what you can do to improve the business or learn from it. Tony, I see you became off mute, so go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to touch base too. I think I'm getting an echo here. Anyways, exactly, Jordy. I know exactly what you're feeling. You mentioned help, and we have to help each other. Our neighbors are helping each other. All our neighbors are coming through, making making us understand that we got to fight, and we're unshakable. And that's the positive outlook of this whole thing. Anything can be thrown at us. Our business has been around for 63 years. My grandfather opened it, and I know I'm speaking on May 5th, I believe, with you, right, Christy?
Yes, I have that slide coming up.
So I won't be taking too much time of my history, but right now is the the whole new normal, new reality. It's time to change the way you thought you're doing business and react and be positive. And our sales initially plummeted, just like Jordy said. It was, well, I've got a 200-person capacity restaurant, 100 in the lounge, 100 in the dining room, gone. We still have bills to pay from January and February, which are our slowest months, and we need March and April to sales to make us survive. Well, those are gone. So you have to be really creative, and you gotta, like, we are fortunate to have a lot of connections, a lot of relationships with institutions and borrowers and lenders, whatever. I own my own building, so I'm not paying a rent. But a lot of people are not as fortunate as for being in the longevity we've had. But the bills need to come in, the sales need to come in. So you hit the pavement, you have your team of staff that are willing to want to see this thing succeed. So we do our own little social media. We have my GM is amazing with what she's doing and bringing and getting the knowledge out that we are open. We're doing delivery, which we've never done before. So we have a team of 5 deliveries and a bunch of other customers that just want to help out. So sometimes when they're picking up food for themselves, they see that we're, okay, who's next? Well, no, I'm living down that street. I'll go take that food over to you, and it's all prepaid. So it's pretty funny. But we're here for you there, Jordy. We're down the street, so anything you need. I'm also for the MRFA, whether you're a member or not, we're here for you for any kind of information. I have a meeting at 2:00 with those guys and the girls, and to see what's happening, what's latest, and I'll be relaying that stuff as well when we talk. So,
and
not
even
alone.
when you do talk with us, Tony, in a couple weeks, things can change again.
It'll be night and day, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
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 Right.
Sorry, you were cutting out, Jordy.
Oh no, I didn't say anything. I just was moving my hand. That's all. I'm all good. No, I was just here. Like what Tony said is good. And it's funny, he talked about customers. So one of ours, Al, this guy comes in here all the time. He works for Nestle's. He had chocolate, and he seen what was going on. He even brought us, I'm not kidding you, like, I don't know, like 300 chocolate bars. So every time we've had an order, of $20 from where we were throwing a chocolate bar, and we had people, and I was thinking, like, what a nice gesture of him to do that. But then, as Tony said, we've had customers that delivered orders for us as well. They said, oh yeah, I live there, I'll take that for you. So it is, and that's the nice part of me. And like I say, Tony's been an institution around here for a long time. And it's cool that, your customers become your friends, right? And so we've had a lot of good customers. I know Tony's got a lot of good customers. That the loyalty piece is good, and it helps you out for sure.
Yeah, that's what I like to see. I love seeing all of the community, and I'm seeing also unique kind of collaborations and partnerships. You mentioned the Nestle guy dropping off chocolate bars. I'm seeing local bakeries, and the Constance Pop Chocolates actually was sending out chocolates with Little Goat just down the street here on Portage, at Easter and everything. And so you're seeing people work together that maybe never thought of it. So I'm really excited actually to see when we start coming out of this, September, January next year, are those collaborations and partnerships still going to take place? And it's almost encouraging because it is. Julie, you mentioned that you were eating squeakers a little later from New Bothwell. A lot of restaurants use New Bothwell cheese, in their product. But is there a time where you could deliver a bag of squeakers with it? Is there, for delivery orders, there's different promotions that are available. And, beyond the restaurant business and everything else that's out there, I also encourage businesses that maybe aren't considered the essential service or allowed to open like they have, just differently, is what can you learn from your local restaurants, from your local shops that you can take to your business. I'm not about to make BLTs and smoothies at the chamber, but can I learn from Jordy and how he's doing something at, San Vito with social media to get our market, a little more awareness for our market. And, during this time, I'm on provincial and national calls with Chamber, and we're asking, you know, have we lost any members because of the pandemic? And there are a few chambers across Canada that have, but in all honesty, a lot of chambers haven't. A lot of people are keeping their memberships. There has been some hold, like understanding with financial, but we've actually seen a growth in membership these past couple of weeks. And part of it is because we've been building awareness for our chamber. Like I said, we were always working towards this. We're celebrating 90 years this year. Unfortunately, our celebration is probably going to be held like Manitoba's 150, has 151 and 91. But it's one of those, we knew we had to jump to the 21st century, and this pandemic made us dive into it. And so building brand awareness, and then learning from others, whether they're your industry or not, think outside the box, take the challenge and do it. Your business is gonna, you know, reward itself. Are there any other questions or anything, any comments anybody wants to share?
Well, the only thing I would say is that, again, I'm happy to be back. I mean, when we first started, we were in the chamber, then I kind of got away from it, but we're certainly happy to be back, and we want to try to be as active members as possible. So again, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Jordy, for joining us, and thank you for becoming a member of the chamber again. If there are no other questions or anything, I want to, you know, thank everybody for joining. I also want to mention that it is Arlene Opala. I forgot to let her introduce herself, you know, as we come in. She is our new Chamber Cube coordinator for our office. Chamber Cubed is a term we use for membership values. So it's to the power of 3, and it's about being present, being visible, and being heard. And so she's our new office coordinator for it. She actually started 2 weeks prior to, you know, all of this happening. But the other thing I wanted to mention is it's actually her birthday today. So I wanted to give a shout out and happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
During this time, it's so crazy, you know, with all of the different types of, you know, things that are going on in life events. Oh, the people that are having babies right now, you know, and no one can be in the room. It's very interesting. But I just wanted to thank everyone for coming. I want to thank Vexxit for, you know, sponsoring today's event. I hope you all take the time to look at Vexxit and learn more about them. I will be sending out more information through our emails and on our website. We will be, as we get more materials, we will be sharing that information with all of our members. We already have a few more members set up, so it's really great to see. The other thing is, I want to, you know, if you have any more questions, either for Jordy or anyone else on the call for the chamber, please send them to info@assiniboiachamber.ca. Either Arlene or I would be happy to help you with any question relating to any topic. And then just, of course, to market. Our next Tuesday is Tuesday, May 5th. And we're happy to have Tony Sawicki from Silver Heights Restaurant as our guest host. So looking forward to that. And then just to let you know too, we're not always going to be choosing restaurants and all of that to be our guest hosts. It's just the time and matter right now. We do have other people lined up. A 55 plus center, Megan Wilford, who's on the call. She'll be presenting in June. I have an IT member who's actually going to be presenting in a couple of weeks as well. So I hope this was enjoyable for everyone. And again, this was our first one doing it. So I'm taking some learning notes from it, just like I hope everyone else is. So thank you again, and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's great.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Christy.
everyone. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye.